welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the things that no one will tell you about vet school. So as you guys have may noticed, I haven't posted in the last 2 weeks, and it's because I've been really busy. Like rotations have really taken a toll on me, physically I mean, because I'm really tired all the time. And then I get home, I shower, and I'm falling asleep really early to then get up really early and start all over again. For me and anyone else, I think it's really easy to talk about all the beautiful things and great things that vet med brings to us. And today I felt like talking about the things that people don't really talk about. So first being stress. Stress is something that I always thought I knew how to manage by different ways, because I always try to live a balanced life and work out and go out with my friends and kind of like do everything, and that kept me balanced. Things have changed with vet school. This is no undergrad, this is no high school anymore. This is really hardcore, and it's demanding a whole different student, you know, and the stress that I've been feeling has been like no other. I feel like I've gotten like gray hairs already, and I promise I didn't have any before vet school. And wrinkles, and I feel like I'm getting older, and it's crazy. Time keeps passing, and I think stress is showing, and it's very unfortunate. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that stress is a real thing. I thought I knew what it was, and I thought that I was great at managing it, but it turns out I still have some improvement to do. With that comes a topic that is very hard to talk about for us in vet med and other medical professions or high stress professions, is mental health. So mental health is something that we have to be really aware of, because we can keep going and working hard and pushing ourselves to our limit, but we have to also consider our bodies, our mind, and how our soul feels about how we're running our life. Mental health is a very sensitive topic when we talk about it in the vet med community, because I don't know if you guys know, but veterinarians are amongst the top professions that commit suicide. And it's very sad to think about, because we wear our heart on our sleeves, and we are so loving, and we give so much that it really gets to us when we don't get the outcome that we want a lot of times. And because we also give too much of ourselves, and that is where mental health comes to play. I think that thanks to my university and St. George's University, I realized that there's ways of achieving that, of giving your head and your body some rest and kind of like focusing on something else, because that's the thing, we love our profession, and we're gonna live, breathe, and like eat vet med, and that's just how we are typically, but it's what also consumes us. And it's very important that if you're a high school student that wants to go to college and become a veterinarian one day, I really suggest that you start thinking about what mental health means to you and start working on that, because I personally can tell you that it's something I never really thought about, but then I noticed that it's necessary. Like, you study for so long in a day that you don't even realize if you ate, if you went to the bathroom, if you took a break. And thankfully I had a really good group of friends that they were my study partners, and we made each other laugh all the time, and we kind of gave each other that breath of fresh air that we needed between study spaces. But I also needed my me time, that time that actually made me mentally healthy. Something that's also added to the equation that makes this a lot harder is the fact that we're away from family. It doesn't even matter if you're going to your state vet school and you are close to your family, chances are you're not gonna see them a bunch. You're not gonna be at home all the time. You're gonna have to be on campus studying and really focusing on schoolwork and all the things you gotta learn, because it's so much material. And that honestly was the hardest part for me. Missing birthdays, missing anniversaries, missing just special family events, even like holidays, or just the small things. Like, for example, my uncle's having a baby, and they just announced that it's gonna be a baby boy, and I was there and FaceTime with them, but it still broke my heart, you know. I still like wish I was there. And that happened to me so many times in the last 3 years, and it's still gonna happen this year. And it's something that it will be hard no matter who you are. I know friends that had it a lot worse, colleagues that their parents or their grandparents passed away during vet school and they couldn't go home because they had a final, because they had a midterm, and that can really take a toll on yourself. I think that our dream and what we're doing is so important, and we fought so hard to be here and to get to this point in our lives that we're so afraid to lose it. And that's okay, but you gotta remember that if you need a break, if you need to go see your family, you need to do it. Take your time. You are important too. So that's all in the personal aspect and the challenges that life might bring you, and it's something that you gotta prepare yourself for because you don't know what's gonna happen in those 4 years, and you gotta be prepared to kind of put things to a side while also recognizing when it's time for you to stop or when it's time for you to take a break, when it's time to call a friend. Another aspect of vet med that people don't really talk about much, but I think is so important, is the fact that we spend so many hours a day trying to learn about all these diseases, all these drugs, all these species-specific things, and sometimes at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much knowledge we have, we can't save them. And I'm not a veterinarian yet, I'm only on my 4th year, and it still breaks my heart when a dog comes in and you want to help them and you're doing chemo and they look well, they're wagging their tails, but you know they're dying. Like, that's something that it can break a heart, and you might think, oh, that's just the vet or that's just the student that's in the case, and you know, it's my dog, I feel it, but I assure you that the student, the tech, the doctor that's working with you in that situation is also feeling it. And even though I know a lot of veterinarians like won't allow themselves to cry or just like try to be as composed as possible, that is completely okay, but everyone manages it in a different way. What I'm trying to say is that even if you think they're not feeling anything and they're not showing anything, I promise you something is happening in there. And every time you participate or are there to see an animal go, I think that a little part of you like goes too, you know? And it's really sad, and you just gotta remind yourself why you're here and give it your all, because that's all we can do sometimes. In that same note, I must say that all of these things that I'm talking about right now are challenges that you're gonna have to face, and everyone's different. I am a very sentimental person, like, and I don't even know why. Like, let me be honest here. I used to not really cry for much, and then I went into vet school. Okay, so I don't know why, but basically, you can ask my classmates, it's really weird. I came into vet school and I think I was like normal, sensitive wise, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was that I was finally doing what I wanted or just actually getting in the field and like mind and space, giving it my all to this, that everything just touched me in a way. Like, I remember the first time one of the girls in my class showed me a picture of a fluffy cow, and I thought that was Photoshop, you know? I was like, that is too cute. And she was like, no, that's for real. And she starts showing me more pictures of fluffy cows, and I just started crying of happiness because I thought that was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in my whole life. And my classmates were laughing at me. They were like, oh my God, why are you crying? I don't know if I was like feeling some kind of way that day or something, but I was crying of happiness. I don't even know. And I feel like it happens to me all the time. I find things that make me so happy, like animals that make me cry of happiness all the time. And then also cases where I'm assisting in euthanasia and I try to stay strong and all, but sometimes I have to leave the room and like let it out too. I am human and I feel things so deeply sometimes, and it's good, but it's also a curse, you know? Where I was going with that is that, yes, like I've studied all this and we've worked so hard to know all the diseases, all the details, all the animal things, and even though sometimes I'm gonna see cases where I'm not gonna be able to help much. There's gonna be others where you are gonna. So on my primary care shift, I met this family, this elderly couple, and they were so sweet and caring, and they just reminded me of like grandparents. And they have so many animals, and they brought a couple of their dogs that week, and I was lucky enough to see some of their dogs. And one of the dogs, I did a physical exam, and side note, this is the importance of a good physical exam. And I found a mass on this dog. And I was thinking, well, this dog is older, you know, it's probably a lipoma, just like a mass of fat, no big deal. But for sure, I still brought it up to the clinician and told them that I wanted to do a fine needle aspirate to make sure it was just fat. So it turns out it was this soft tissue sarcoma, and I found this dog's cancer. And even though that made me so sad, like, wow, I'm getting emotional. Just imagining the faces, or just imagining like me having to tell that to them broke my heart, you know? I hate that I'm crying right now. But yeah, it still gets on my feels. So I had to be the one to call them and tell them. And it was so sad for me, and I apologized, but they were so kind. And okay, I need a minute. Anyway, I had to call them and tell them about the news. Unfortunately, it wasn't what I wanted it to be, but I was just glad that I found it, because thanks to that, we were able to approach it right away. And fortunately enough, it had not metastasized. We did radiographs, we did a CT, and we confirmed that prognosis was probably better than if we found it any other time. And that dog had been into the hospital less than 3 months ago. So either that tumor was not found before, or that tumor was so fast to grow that it literally appeared in no time. So what I'm trying to say is that you'll see, and maybe you are already there, maybe you're a vet student as well, you might understand what I'm saying. Our knowledge, like, even though sometimes we're not able to do much, sometimes we are gonna save lives. And it might hurt in the sense that we're gonna find out things that maybe we don't wanna find out about, but it's so good because we can avoid things, we can prevent diseases, we can help people and their animals. And I think it's very rewarding when you get to do that good. And it doesn't have to be like finding a mass all the time, but just making an animal feel better, maybe knowing why they hurt, just finding the reasons why they're not well. And I think that any and every piece of knowledge that we've acquired is so powerful, because just one day, and that could even be tomorrow or in clinics, you're gonna save a life. And I think that is priceless, and it makes everything worthwhile. Sorry, my camera died. So another thing that people that go to vet school don't talk to you about is kind of like the pressures that they feel by either society or themselves. I personally know that I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I have to recognize that. I've always thought that I wanted to become an equine practitioner, and I probably specialize in surgery or something like that. And I don't know, I guess I convinced myself of that, right? And then I went to vet school, and everyone was like, yeah. And then when you go to clinics, you'll figure it out. You'll see what you like, what you don't. And I have a really big problem now, and it's that I like everything. Like, as of right now, I'm loving every second of it. And like, I don't know, like, I really enjoy my dog and cat time just as much as I enjoy my cow and horse time. And it's just so hard for me because I don't want to like live the rest of my life just wondering what if. I know that if I wanted to, I could find a way to do it all. But I guess that just doesn't bring comfort to my mind right now. I don't know why. Also, like, the fact that I really like surgery, but I also like medicine. And then, like, you know, I don't know if you guys would know about this. Some vet students could confirm, but I feel like there's a constant battle between medicine and surgery people. And I wish there was like a personality test or something that could kind of like lean you towards one of those teams, you know, like the Harry Potter like test to see which house you're at. So I wish that was the case with just any aspect of veterinary medicine, because I am unsure now. I like everything, and I know that whatever I end up doing, I'm gonna love it, but it's just still nerve-wracking. That's just the part of me, but there's other pressures too that are really annoying. And when it comes to clients, some clients are amazing. Like, some clients understand and are willing and are compliant, and those are the clients I want to have. But there's other clients that don't really get it, and really bother me. And it hasn't really directly like happened to me, but I've seen it happen to different veterinarians when they don't understand why we're charging what we're charging, or they don't understand the choices and decisions and options that we offer. I've heard like people just be like, oh, I don't even know why a dental for my dog is more expensive than me going to the dentist. You don't understand? Like, do you have to be anesthetized for that? I don't think so. But your dog has to, so someone has to be monitoring your dog. I don't even want to get into that. I just like feel that some people in this world don't really get our profession. Like, having a pet is not a necessity, it's a luxury. And if you want a pet and you feel like you're gonna buy a dog, adopt a dog, or whatever the animal it is, I hope that you know that we are gonna hold you responsible for them. And that means that I need you to think about your purchase. Like, if you're buying or adopting a dog, this is a lifetime commitment. And I just wish people didn't take it so lightly, because it's like a kid, hey? Like, you have to pay for them, you have to take care of them, and you have to give them the best life that you can give them, right? So the people that don't really see it that way, or the people that go to the vet and complain because vaccines are more than $100, then I need you to understand that people like me, people like my mentors, have been studying and dedicating their whole lives to treating and caring for your pet as best as possible. And I think that has value. In conclusion, I hope you give love to the friend you know that wants to be a vet, to the vet student that you know, and to every veterinarian you've ever met, because what they're going through every day, or just what they've been through, is not easy. And there's a lot of things that seem very glamorous about our profession, but there's other things that we don't really talk about, and those take a toll on us. So I hope you come to appreciate what we do, because we definitely have the best intentions in the world. And I hope you guys can really see with how much passion, at least I do what I do, because I don't think I'd be good for anything else. I love what I'm doing, and I think I'm never gonna work a day in my life, because this is what I want to do. Some topics are easier than others, but I'm willing to talk about those because they are important. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you know anyone that might benefit by hearing this, please send this to them. And if you guys have any questions or anything to comment, please comment below. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.